Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime channel. We were recently shown a confrontation between Yonkou, Luffy, and Admiral Kizaru. Many fans had been waiting for this fight for a long time, but the focus of the chapters was not this confrontation, but rather another confrontation that was happening close to them. With a draw between them, many fans theorized that a new fight will take place between these two powerful characters, a confrontation that will show which of these two great characters in the work is stronger. In today's video, we are going to talk about the confrontation we had between Luffy and Kizaru, analyzing this fight as well as talking about a new fight that could happen between these two characters in this arc and what world change this confrontation would bring to the work of One Piece. Before we dive into the video, don't forget to smash that like button, give us a thumbs up to unlock your devil fruit powers, and hit that subscribe button to awaken. Now, let's jump into the video. Guys, the battle between Luffy and Kizaru was a fight highly anticipated by fans, with both opponents demonstrating impressive skills and incredible strength. The confrontation began with Luffy charging with surprising speed, using his Gear Force Snake Man form to launch an attempt to stop Kizaru from advancing. As this intense combat progressed, Luffy used his Gear 5, using all of his power to face the powerful Admiral. We saw very little about this combat, especially because, as stated in the video's introduction, we only saw fragments of this combat while Saturn was receiving greater focus. At the end of this fight, we see Luffy completely tired from the intense conflict, delivering his last blow to Kizaru's head, then falling to the ground. Because of the impact of the blow, Kizaru was completely stunned, but unlike Luffy, he was still conscious. Now, in the present of the manga, the two characters are completely exhausted and unable to fight for now. However, they will still play a big role in this Egghead arc. Very soon they will rise again to achieve their goals, because of this possibility that these two characters will still have a large part in these events in Egghead. This makes us believe that there is a growing expectation that this epic fight between Luffy and Kizaru could happen again in the future, specifically during Egghead's arc. The events that unfolded during this first battle left some questions open, and the promise of a rematch hangs in the air. Many fans eagerly await a confrontation in which Luffy would emerge victorious, defying the odds and achieving a significant victory that would echo throughout the world of One Piece. A victory for Luffy in a possible second encounter with Kizaru would have profound and lasting implications. Kizaru, as one of the three admirals of the Navy and one of the most powerful members of Sekai Seifu, represents one of the pillars of the world ruled by justice. A defeat at the hands of Luffy would demonstrate that the new generation of pirates, made up of Luffy and other pirates who are quickly rising through the ranks, in addition to being ready to challenge the established balance of power and overthrow the structures of authority made by Sekai Seifu. This victory would not only elevate Luffy's reputation, but also inspire others to join the cause of freedom and justice. This could trigger a wave of change in the world, with the pirate revolution taking on a new dimension, in addition to other powerful figures beginning to act, such as the revolutionaries and other pirates who have great relevance in the work of One Piece. The balance of power in the world of One Piece could change drastically, paving the way for a new era of challenges and opportunities. A great change would happen, causing the few pillars of power in this universe to begin to crumble, causing new forces to emerge in this final saga of One Piece. The Navy would lose the great influence it has over the world. The defeat of an admiral would demonstrate that the Navy can indeed be overthrown, giving hope to other and even underworld organizations to begin to act in the face of this situation. With Luffy managing to achieve victory over an admiral and the Cross Guild placing a bounty on sailors, this would result in the Navy being at a great disadvantage, slowly being destroyed by the pirates. This turn of events would not only affect the Navy but also Sekai Seifu, as the Navy is one of the sources of defense for this government organization. With the fall of the Navy, Sekai Seifu would be almost completely unprotected, giving other organizations the opportunity to overthrow Sekai Seifu. As previously stated, Kizaru's defeat by Luffy would have an immense impact on the world of One Piece, shaking the foundations of the established balance of power and triggering a series of significant reactions among the main players in that universe. This event would trigger a series of chain reactions, reconfiguring the balance of power and alliances between the main characters. Shanks, in particular, would be forced to make difficult decisions. This defeat of Kizaru would directly affect the Yonkus, who are one of the pillars of power that make up the world of One Piece. One of the most notable Yonkus that would somehow have a great importance with Kizaru's fall would be Shanks, who would probably have a particularly strong reaction because of the victory coming at Luffy's hands. Shanks is known for his imposing stance and his role as mediator between the pirates and Sekai Seifu, in addition to his special relationship with Luffy. Kizaru's defeat by Straw Hat would have a huge impact on the entire world, leaving Shanks in a delicate position. On the one hand, his connection with Luffy would put him in a difficult position, as Luffy's victory could be interpreted as an affront to Sakai Seifu and the Navy, leaving him happy about Luffy's great achievement and fearful about the great instability that Luffy would be providing the world. Shanks would have to choose between openly supporting Luffy, which could mean a full-scale war, or remaining silent and maintaining his role as mediator, preventing further conflicts from happening. The remaining Yonkus, including Crocodile, Mihawk, and Buggy, who banded together to form the Cross Guild, would also be deeply affected. Kizaru's defeat would not only weaken the Navy's position, but also boost its business with the Marine bounty. The Cross Guild, as a growing force in the scene, could be seen as a threat to Sakai Seifu, and the weakening of the Navy could encourage other pirates to challenge the world's justice system. Crocodile, Mihawk, and Buggy's reactions would largely depend on their personal interests. Crocodile, with his overthrowing ambition to take over the underworld and take the world for himself, could see Kizaru's defeat as an opportunity to move towards his goals. Mihawk, the greatest swordsman in the world, could feel challenged to test his skills against Luffy, who has shown himself to be a growing threat. As for Buggy, who has always been a pirate with comedic inclinations, he could see the situation as a chance to further increase his reputation. Other characters who would see a great opportunity because of this great event would be the Revolutionaries, led by Dragon, in whom they would find new hope in their triumph. The defeat of such a powerful admiral would inspire the Revolutionaries, fueling the belief that they could challenge the established order. Confidence in their cause would increase drastically, leading them to intensify their covert operations against the Sakai Seifu. At the same time, within the Navy, Kizaru's defeat would provoke a call for reform. The institution would realize that it was crucial to adapt to the new threats posed by pirates like Luffy. Drastic reforms would be initiated, including a complete overhaul of their training system and the restructuring of their combat strategies. Admirals and high-ranking officers would have to be completely changed, including admirals who are not demonstrating great relevance to the organization. An example would be Kizaru and Ryokugyu himself. Both are constantly failing in their missions, causing their credibility and that of the Navy to slowly begin to diminish. In this way, the Navy would seek to become more effective and stronger, to be able to face these great dangers that pirates are posing now, a danger as great as the previous generation. At the same time that these previously mentioned changes would happen, the outside world would react to the news of Luffy's victory with a wave of rebellions. Ordinary citizens, long oppressed by Sakai Seifu, would feel emboldened to rise up against injustice. Entire islands and nations would witness the rise of resistance movements, as people from different social backgrounds would unite in their quest for freedom. In this climate of hope and determination, the world of One Piece would enter an era of transformation. The renewed confidence of the revolutionaries, the internal reforms of the Navy, and the growing wave of rebellions would create a scenario of significant changes. The balance of power would be completely unbalanced, and the consequences of these transformations would be felt in all corners of the world. New, unexpected events would happen, completely changing the world of One Piece. That's a wrap for today's content. We hope you enjoyed it and want to share your thoughts on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and catch you in the next video. Take care and stay awesome.